there's a place for people to come home, like even like a little faster than 200. I'm not saying this because I come home fast, but I feel like whenever I feel like people are talking about the 200, I feel like they're working on their back half. Like I've never heard someone say they went out 1:15 and they're like, oh, I went out too slow.
Welcome to Social Kick. I'm Brian Lundquist. We got the full crew: Dr. John Mullen, Luke Paddington, and Matt Fallon. What's up, Matt?
Not much. How's it going with you guys?
Man, it's going pretty good. And to be honest, we've got some feedback from some of our listeners that we stopped doing this and they really enjoyed this. And since we're all doing it and it's Friday afternoon when we're recording this, I'm just going to say it. So, John, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a Friends IPA. It's a Bale Breaker Brewing Company in Sierra Nevada collaboration IPA with some fun, artwork on the front.
All right. What do you think about it?
It's good. I enjoy it. Got it at Costco, so I've had it a few times because can't beat those prices.
There you go. All right, Luke, what are you drinking tonight?
As I get older, I feel heavier. So I decided to have a zero gravity and a usual hazy IPA. So there we go. I like my hazies.
I'm not sure that helps you get any lighter, but I like the strategy. I'm curious. Somebody let us know in the comments if you ever heard this before, but I heard somebody call a PBR before a PBR, and I can't stop thinking about it ever since I heard it because I laughed and had never heard somebody call a PBR a PBR. So I picked up some PBRs the other night and drinking a PBR. So there we go.
The strap is so loose on me. I don't have the raccoon eyes after swimming when I'm finished. And look at me, I'm wearing them right now and I hardly know they're on. They last so long. I've had them on now. These are 3 years old. I've worn these a lot in sun and in chlorine and nothing's changed about them. And it's not fogged up. If I wore regular goggles that was 3 years old, this would be fogged up right now talking to you.
So you can support Social Kick directly by picking up a pair of Magic 5 goggles using our affiliate link. Go to themagic5.com/socialkick. But Matt, you got bigger things to do than partake. So give us the update. Well, actually, before we jump there, what are you drinking? Are you hydrating right now?
I have my water.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Man. And is it laced with any electrolytes or just straight water?
This is straight fountain water.
I appreciate that. Okay. I do have a couple of quick rapid fire questions that we sourced from our audience. What is your go-to Wawa order?
Go-to Wawa order nowadays is long 4-inch buffalo chicken sandwich on a whole wheat with no salt, banana peppers, lettuce, onions, and then 2 salads, romaine lettuce, Parmesan cheese, chicken nuggets, banana peppers, onions, and garlic aioli.
Man, that is a lot more than I would have expected out of what I thought to be a gas station. But I know that Wawa has a hell of a following.
Wawa's everything. Wawa's everything.
Yeah, wow. Noted. Man, well, it's a hell of a competition between them and Buc-ee's in Texas, right? That's the other big one. I'm from the QT region. Shout out to anybody who appreciates Quick Trip.
Wawa in Texas?
No, saying Buc-ee's there. Maybe they do, but I feel like everybody Buc-ee's, it's making its way east, but I understood it to be a Texas thing. So taking over the Southeast. All right, next question. Where did the interest in learning Mandarin come from?
Ooh, that I started learning Mandarin when I was like 2, just because I've been parents wanted me to learn a new language, so I was just sent to an immersion school near my house. But yeah, I've been learning Mandarin. I don't speak it much anymore, but I can still understand it really well.
All right, last quick one before we just have a regular chat. Being from New Jersey, are you a fan of pork rolls? And do you recall the best one that you've ever had and where it was from?
First of all, it's Taylor ham. And second of all, I'm surprised you didn't mention the debate between pork roll and Taylor ham. I mean, you're not New Jerseyans, so
you gotta tell us.
Native to you guys, but best Taylor ham I've had is probably, honestly, there's a spot in right where I'm from. It's called O Bagel. They've got one right near where I swim. Get like an everything bagel, Taylor ham, egg and cheese. One of the best things you can get. I also get their croissant sandwich, which is really good. But the bagels in New Jersey are just it's not like anywhere else. You've never had a bagel if you haven't had one from New Jersey.
So I think we need to do a new segment on the road, eating with Matt Fallon. And we just go, we hit Wawas and bagel shops and do it, man. In Chinese. In my Mandarin.
In Chinese, of course. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty rusty, so I don't know. But yeah, maybe.
I like
It'll be fun. I'll be down.
All right. Outside from eating all these great things, you just came off a great world championships, getting bronze in the 200 breast. But tell us a little bit about what you've been up to since then.
Well, I took a pretty big break for me after World Champs. Maybe like I took like a week where I didn't do anything, and then over the next 2 weeks, I just kind of like got back into it like twice a week. But then ever since then, I've been training. I've been going pretty hard since then. Took like 2 weeks to get back into it. But then after that, I mean, at Penn, we've been doing a lot of long course. We've been doing long course five times a week. Well, Penn isn't technically long course. It's 55 yards. So it's 5.5 inches longer than a long course pool.
Do you notice the difference?
No, but it's kind of, you notice the difference if it's across like 1,000 or a 1,200 swim. Because you go a little bit slower. Like you'll go a few seconds slower over the course of like 1,000. Because I guess the lore behind it is the person who made it in the 60s thought yards was going to be the future, or who designed it. So they did 55 yards instead of 50 meters. But yeah, so
real smarties at Penn, that's for sure.
Yeah, that edged well.
Actually, Luke swam in the yards era. That's how old Luke is. He swam when there was 120-yard freestyle.
Whatever. What is the thinking behind that? Wasn't San Jose State pool also like 49 meters? And what's the thinking behind that overall? You just explained Penn's thinking. And has there been an attempt to make it a little bit 5.5 inches shorter so you could host a meet or no?
Well, they used to have like actually I don't know. I think they used to have like things that they could put in that are like 5.5 inches to make it 50 meters. But next season we're getting renovated. Like the entire pool is getting a huge renovation.
Oh wow!
It's going to be made into a 50-meter pool.
Oh, well done. So when you host IVs, you go swim the yard side and.
We don't host IVs.
When they're doing warming up, like do visiting schools know this? And so when they're in the warm down pool, they messed up.
Oh, they said when we host Ivy champs, like when we host dual meets, you mean?
Yeah.
We just swim yard side, and then we have a yards and a short course meters side. Short course meters, so we have a yard, short course meters, and long course. And short course meter side is just warm up, warm down. We split that across both teams, and then yard side is for the meet.
Well, like I mentioned, you had a great Worlds, and it must be you hammering home that last 50 due to this weird pool distance training that you've been doing at Penn and everything.
Yeah. It being longer really makes it's really that much longer.
Exactly. You just have no clue of any interval possibly.
Yeah.
So with Worlds, getting third in the 200 breast, hammering it home there. Talk us through maybe, what you're feeling going into that race and, the lead up to it.
I was pretty confident going into it. I had gone, I think like 7-9 the night before. I wasn't going, I wasn't killing myself. I was going for it, but I knew I had a little more in the tank. And I was also feeling good in the warm up pool, like right before my race, which is always good. In those past few days. So that night, I didn't really have any expectations going into it. I didn't know because I don't know how fast people are going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really have any expectations. I just wanted to go in, swim my best race, and then just, I guess, be done. So I kind of saw that I was in it at the 125. So I just kind of started to like hammer home a little bit, see what I could do. I did not realize Chin was going that fast. I did not know where he was because I couldn't see him because I guess Zach was like blocking me.
Yeah.
So I could only see him. I assumed he was probably like first or at the very least first or second.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I think I'm in front of everyone else. I'll try and like keep up with him. But yeah, that was pretty. When I saw the scoreboard after that, I was very surprised to see a 2:05.4. But yeah, in the race overall, I mean, it's been a struggle for me because I really like to warm up right before my race. like up to like 5 minutes before my race. And at Worlds, you got to be in the ready room 20 minutes before you go off. And for finals, I think it wasn't meant to be longer, but I think they ended up holding us for like a little bit longer. So I was trying to like get the blood moving in there a little bit. But even then, I still felt like it's still kind of a process. Like every race, I got a little better at it. Like getting a little better, just like staying loose so that you don't feel tight when you get in the water. I still felt like a little tightness the first 50, but I was able to kind of work a lot of that off on the second 50. And then I was able to bring something home the last 100.
You mentioned getting the blood moving, and I mean that's one of the tricky things about international meets. They just totally different process. But what did you do? Were you doing some jumping jacks in there?
Yeah, I was just kind of like moving my arms around, stretching. I got like one of those bands, so you can kind of like go like this with, and then just like I guess I like wrapped it around. I tried to like wrap it around a chair and try like pulling and rowing. So,
whenever I've been seeing you race, it literally as though you turn that switch. And I wanted to ask you about this. You just mentioned that Worlds is 125. You saw you were in it and you hammered down at that point. You made a point then. At trials, you turned at the 100 and you just took off and you went what 32 lower trials, I think, in the final in that third 50. What is it that you do or tell yourself? I mean, it's not like you're rested and comfortable and breathing easy. You've just went on a 102. What is it that you tell yourself to take yourself to that next level? Is it a word in your mind? Because at Worlds you see your race, so you probably like, okay, let's go, let's race. But you're 7th at trials at the wall at the 100. What do you tell yourself to like, boom, go?
Well, I don't really know how to do anything else. So really, I mean, obviously I'm trying to learn how to like, especially at Worlds, I didn't really execute it well in finals, but I did it well in semifinals where I really try to like build the third 50, like build the last 50. Not like I'm still going to like kind of turn it on, but like just like turning it on like that. It's something that I'm used to, but I feel like when I was in the warm-up pool, I was going a little faster and I was just kind of like building very gradually. I don't get caught in my stroke. But yeah, it's just something I'm used to, honestly. Like I used to have to be like, it used to be like the nerves. I used to be like, oh my gosh, I'm in last, I have to go now. It used to give me adrenaline, but now it's just like something that happens. Like I don't really have to think about it anymore.
And you're not afraid at all that you're burning too much gas too soon?
That has also been a problem because now I have like a roughly second differential, like almost second and a half. I think it's like a second and a half in between my third and fourth 50.
Yeah.
And that is something I am trying to fix. That's I am like scared that I'm going to run out. But I mean, I know I'm confident in myself that I can like bring it home fine for last 100, even if I taper off a little bit in the last 25. Like I know I have enough to bring it home, but if I like spread out my energy across the 100, I think I could probably do a little bit better. It's just learning to control the race, control yourself during the race better.
Did anybody before the meet see that coming out of Chin? He just had a crazy meet.
I didn't. I had no idea what he was going to do. Well, I saw him at 57 in the 100s. I'm like, okay, he's going to go. I knew he was gonna at the very least. Well, in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's probably going to break 207 or something like that. Because he has 57 speed. He knows how to do a 200. He's going to be able to do that. When I saw 205.4, I was surprised, obviously, because like he only went 207 in semifinals. I mean, like 209 in prelims or something. So I was pretty surprised, but honestly, it makes sense, sort of. Maybe he's an even better 200 swimmer than he is a 100 swimmer. I don't know. But yeah, that was a surprise to me too.
Yeah, he has some great 200s before World. So I think when he went that 57, everyone's like, man, this might be scary. I mean, Sergio Lopez, though, a couple of years ago told us that the 200 breast for men has a lot of room to improve. And I think we're starting to see that with all these drops and so many world records in that event and so many people right around that level.
Yeah, just like seeing people go 205 and 206 pretty regularly. I think it's definitely possible for a lot of people to be in that area pretty soon. Like within the next 5 years, it's going to be like within like the next few years, 207 isn't really. I mean, it's already kind of happening. 207 isn't really going to cut it anymore. 207 anything. It's going to be all 206s. Maybe even at like the 2024 Olympics, it's going to be you might go 206 and not medal.
What do you think the 200 breast version is of PD's 56? If you've been listening to Social Kick for a while, you know that we haven't been doing ad reads on this show. But as we've grown, we want to create more Social Kick content, and we want to do so by partnering with the right brands that we actually believe make good products. Well, we found one with the Magic 5. We love this product, and we're happy to partner with the Magic 5. Go to themagic5.com/socialkick.
I don't know. Like maybe I think the 200 breast can go very low just because I always imagine someone who has like, because if someone can train distance but they're also like way bigger and stronger than me and they can like get that 200 down, somebody could probably go like 203. I think Petey should be able to go like 203 or something, because if he goes out, he goes like 56 in the 100. If he goes out, this is just me like speculating, he could probably go out like 59 going easy, or like 59 low. All I'd have to do is come on 104 high, which is probably pretty easy for him, for someone who can go out 59 low going easy. Assuming someone can go like 57 low, 56, and has like a good bit of endurance.
Where do you think the 100 can go, or do you think we're pretty much there?
I have no idea. I don't know nothing about the 100. Whenever I do the 100, I just pretend I'm doing the last 100 of my 200. I have. That's a question for like Nick Fink or like someone who is way better than me at the 100.
Just a side note, did your knowledge of Mandarin pay off in the ready room or on the podium at all? Did you have any words with Chin?
I said congratulations to him in Chinese.
Nice. Must respect that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Well, I didn't really talk to him that much, but I mean, he mainly spoke English. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So,
how do you say congratulations in Chinese?
恭喜你 means like congratulations to you.
Okay, right.
Yeah, got it. Oh, sorry, John.
Talk to us about your 200 breaststroke. How did you fall in love? How did you get really good at 200 breaststroke? Take us back, because I know you used some 400 free back in the day. 200.
Yeah.
Talk about your 200 breaststroke career, your origin story.
Yeah, way back in the day, I used to do like the long course mile, the long course 2 fly, the long course 800, the long course 400, the long course 4 IM. Back when I was like 11, 12. But then I don't really know what happened. I guess I used to be a lot better at fly. I still retain some of my fly, but then I don't know. I guess part of it definitely was when I was like starting to be like 11 or 12. I was training breaststroke, but in fly, I used to like win place pretty high, like all the JOs and stuff like that. But then when Dare started beating me and everything, I'm like, all right, I need to start expanding my repertoire. So I guess I had always done breaststroke. Breaststroke before it was my best stroke. It had always been my second best stroke. Fly used to be my best stroke by a lot. I'm not very good at it anymore. I think so I don't really do fly anymore, but once I was like 11, when I was 12, I dropped like 20 seconds in my long course 2 breast.
Dang.
Because and then I'm like, all right, because I don't know what happened. I guess I just trained a lot of breaststroke that summer, and then after that, I was just like, I'm gonna do the 2 breast from now on.
You mentioned Dare, and there's tons of, especially on the men's side, New Jersey swimmers on the world scene. You have, Destin and Jack Alexi, I believe, and even some other ones. But I think those are the main ones that were with you. I think Luke's about to say Nick Fink, but I know he's a little older. I mean, how well did you know these guys, and what's in the water in New Jersey?
Well, okay.
It's Wawa, not water. Wawa. Sorry.
We know what's in Wawa. He explained like the whole menu earlier. Did you miss it?
Yeah. Basically, I had known Jack very well. I know Dare. I've talked to Dustin before, but him and I roomed at World, so him and I became much better friends. I had trained with Nick over the summer before that, like leading up, because I was in Athens, my friend, and I was training in Athens, and Nick was just training there over the summer. And I believe that was the first time I met Henry, was at Nationals. Yeah, I don't think I'd met him before that. So I had known a good bit of them going into the meet, and it was just nice to have them all there. I mean, just to go with them to zone meets, just to see how far we've all come, is pretty cool.
It's a big trip. And David Curtis is from there as well. Did you swim against David at all in your younger stuff, or who's above you?
I swam against him a lot at Y-Nats.
Yeah,
he was usually in the middle. I think he was in the middle Atlantic zone when we were doing zones. But yeah, I'd seen him before. I'd seen him at Y-Nat meets, all that. Yeah, I'd known David Curtis as well.
Yeah. And your reason for Penn, I mean, besides your education, the Wharton School, great college and good program for swimming, what was the reason there? Is it more that local? Was it more?
Well, yeah, it is local.
Yeah.
That wasn't technically the reason, but it being local is just a plus. I really like Mike, the coach. I feel like him and I share a lot of the same views on swimming. Even like at the beginning when I was talking to him, we just like instantly hit it off. And yeah, I just would just talk to him, even on the recruiting calls. I just talked to him about swimming for like a long time. So I didn't know I was going to go to Penn, but I knew it had always been in my top view.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would always, and yeah, I think I made the best decision I could have made coming to Penn. Definitely.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hey, just while we're talking about on the Jersey thing, why are there really not any good pools in the Northeast for hosting meets? Why are there never any meets in the Northeast?
Well,
because they're 55 yards. Did you miss that?
Yeah, 55.5 inches.
Well, this one's the 55-yard one's in Philly.
Even worse.
Berkeley Aquatic Club. Berkeley Aquatic Club has a long course pool that's really nice, but they barely host any. They host meets with maybe 2 teams. Princeton doesn't. The only place that you could probably host a meet is probably Rutgers, and even Rutgers is it just has a long course pool and then 2 15-meter warm down pools. But other than that, in that area, there's really nowhere. There's barely any long course pools even, let alone anywhere to host a meet. So I'd love to see a pro series or something pop up at Rutgers, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I remember swimming Yale, and Yale has their old pool, and it felt like 2 of you enter and 1 leave. It's the stands all around you. It's high off the ground. It's deep.
It's the Coliseum.
Coliseum of swimming.
It's what's going on? And the 100-year-old pool at the bottom of it. Yeah,
right about it. That's where you train. Matt, you mentioned that you and your coach share the same views in swimming. Explain that. What's your views of swimming? How?
Just how to train. A lot of our training views align pretty well. I had always talked to people about what my kind of ideal practice is, and it varies from day to day. Sometimes you're tired, you want one more sprint, but we like to do a lot of distance sets, a lot of distance free for aerobic. I don't want to get into it too much, but essentially it's very, very distance oriented. A lot of swimming, a lot of breaststroke, or a lot of whatever stroke you need to get better at, but also free, just distance sets in general are just good for getting your aerobic base up. And I've always been a pretty aerobic swimmer. I feel like swimming aerobically even helps with my stroke too when I get tired. Just doing aerobic sets in general just helps me in general.
Mm-hmm. Come on, we got to deep dive this further. Come on. I know you said maybe not into it, but we love talking about this stuff, and a lot of, with how well you close races and things like that. I think a lot of people are kind of curious what type of sets you are doing, or what type of volume is that, and how much is maybe breaststroke, how much is freestyle, especially with breaststrokers. Everyone's always curious, you guys are always the misfits, them and the distance swimmers, right?
Yeah.
So it's how much are they doing? Are they just doing, all the breaststroke kick with a board for 15 minutes? Or what's it looking like?
Yeah. I actually used to be pretty bad at breaststroke kick with a board. In the past 6 months, I've gotten a lot better at it. But I kind of want to, because I don't want to reveal too many sets because there are some pretty big sets out there. I mean, when I was in this isn't much of a Penn thing, but I guess to build just like two breast race strategy. When I was training at Athens, we do like broken 200, where it's just like 450s on 45 with a fast suit off the blocks. I know it's pretty basic, but like it really feels like a 200.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. A lot of the sets at Penn, I wouldn't say they're my favorite sets because a lot of them are very hard. I think, I mean, I mentioned this on the Swim Champs podcast like a long time ago, but really one of my main core sets was when I was younger. I think the first time I completed the set was when I was like, I want to say 15 or 16. No, I was probably 15. Was 40, 50s breasts on 40 short push yards. And then I've just been building down the interval from there. It's really just to like see how far you can take your breaststroke, how far you can take your breaststroke kick.
Mm-hmm.
My freshman year at Penn, I built up to 40, 50s on 35. And then we've always just been doing variations of stuff like that, just like breaststroke on fast intervals, like short course meters. We'll do like sets of 50s on 35 and 40, just like see if you can hold. Like sets of, and then more recently, doing like a bunch of 50s, not like a bunch, but like a good amount of 50s on 35, getting more than 5 seconds rest. And it's really just like, that's kind of the base where we build our sets off of. Just like a lot of 50s breast on 40 and 35. I'd say that's like a good deal. That's like a good chunk of what my breaststroke sets are.
You know, when, as Brian said, we used to separate the breaststrokers and the milers from the rest of us. And I remember as a mid-D, so a 200 freestyler, we do sets like 31s and 140 heart rates, right? And the breaststrokers would not do that. They were going to do 30, 50s off the dive on 115. And we did the lactic sets. We did 6 ones on whatever, was it 230 or what have you. And the breaststrokers would do 75s or 50s. And even the 200 breaststrokers. And so it got in my mindset, like, wait, maybe breaststrokers just can't put in the distance that 200 freestylers can, you know, and that's, I'm not saying that's correct. That got my mindset as an ignorant freestyler. I mean, is that true? Why can't 200 breaststrokers swim the same mileage as a 200 freestyler, or should they not?
Well, it's a lot harder. It's definitely a lot harder to do, even than like putting in distance fly and distance back.
Right.
I guess my knees are pretty good at like keeping themselves in place to be able to do 3,000 breaststroke in a row. But I mean, it's just because I've been doing it since I'm just so used to it. I've just been doing it since I was so young. I mean, I've been doing ladders. I've been doing like 2,500 yard long ladders since I was like 14 in breaststroke. I wouldn't go very fast. And a lot of these distance breaststroke sets, you got to keep in mind, I'm not going very fast at all, but it's just for some of the breaststroke days, it's not about how fast you can go, it's about how long you can go. And I feel like that's the sentiment with distance freestyle too.
Yeah.
And the 200 breaststroke is a lot longer than the 200 free.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to train for that extra distance. And recently I've been getting into like, okay, because I used to go out really slow and then just like kind of like even split my two breasts almost. And recently I've been seeing that like I'm going to get like a lot more out of like just maybe even getting the front half of my race a little bit better. Like I've been doing a lot of, recently I've been doing like a lot of takeout hundreds from the blocks, long floors, just like trying to get the feel for the first 100. Because I know that a lot of my improvement in the two breasts now, obviously I'm going to come home fast as always. That's kind of my thing. But being able to somewhat keep up with people in the first 100 would be nice too. Be able to take it out like 102 low, 101 high. That's kind of what I'm shooting for there. And then just come home. And then whatever I come home is whatever I come home.
How are you doing that? I mean, I see it. I see a tempo change. I see a power change. So you're holding more water and you're picking it. But how are you doing it technically? You're saying go, and what are you working on? What are you focusing on? Is it a secret?
slight secret, but I don't know, just like working on sprint stuff, really, like sprint sets,
Yeah.
like
No, like in the race itself. In the race itself. Yeah. What are you telling yourself?
I want to work on. I need to focus on my start and first pullout. That is where a lot of people get me. I think at Worlds I was a little better, but my pullout has, like, my dolphin kick will never be as good as a lot of the other people. But I think there are other aspects of my pullout that I can like use and maybe improve my dolphin kick a little bit. I'll never have like a Max McHugh pullout, but I think my pullout has like, I think I've been able to do this even like really recently, like improve my pullout like really well in a short amount of time. And I mean, this isn't as much for long course, but there's still 4 pullouts long course. And if I can get even a little bit more, then that would be huge. So just pullouts, really focusing on just like, I guess the main thing with the first 100 and 2 breast is easy speed. That's what I try and focus on the most. Just getting that easy speed. I don't want to go out too slow. Obviously I don't want to go at 103, but I don't want to be dead at the 100, ideally. So it's just finding a really good balance to where you feel powerful in the first 100 and you feel like you're doing something, but not to the point where you're like can't breathe the 100.
For real.
Well, now that we're getting in the technical elements of breaststroke, we know breaststrokers all have different technique. And we had one guest question ask, why do you cock your head like an emperor penguin when you swim breaststroke? So let's deep dive the specific technique of that.
Why do I cock my head back? I don't know.
Well, specifically like an emperor penguin.
Yeah, that's a crucial point.
Like an emperor penguin. Yeah, I never thought about it like that before. I don't know. I guess, well, I cock my head back just because, like, I guess slamming your head down in breaststroke makes for like a better streamline. And I've always worked on being able to come up really high in breaststroke. And like for that, I just do like, I guess just like stretching my lower back as much as possible. And one of the things, the first breaststroke stretch I learned was in gym class in like 5th grade, the Cobra stretch. I feel like we all did that. Yeah, that's, I guess I had done that a lot, I guess. And I guess my lower back has just been like, because we do the Cobra stretch every gym class. Like we'd stretch every gym class. So we do the Cobra stretch every time. And eventually I just got really good at it. And then I guess when you do it, you like put your head back a little bit. So I guess like a little bit of that transfer.
So are you the limbo champion of the world then?
No, just because that's the only spot where I'm really flexible there. If I were to like try and get down like that, I'd probably fall down.
How do you balance that such increase? We spoke to Hunter Armstrong, and he's talking about when he's doing his 50, how he's so afraid to increase his tempo and then slip on it, right? And that's a big thing for him. How are you picking up your tempo and your height and your stroke rate and maintaining that power and catch? What are you doing in that third 50 or that even the last 50 to maintain that you're not rushing it?
Well, to be honest, sometimes I slip a lot more than most people think. Like when I'm like, there are a lot of 2 breasts where I just completely slip the last 25. Like at nationals, I felt like I completely slipped in my stroke, and it's something I'm working on actively. But I'd say, I mean, mostly you slip because you get tired or because you take a race out too fast. But I'd say, I mean, truthfully, the only thing I think about on the third 50 is, I mean, obviously I increase my stroke rate, but truthfully, it's just like, I guess just trying to pull more water. If that makes any sense. Like I just try to pull more water, just like use my arms more. That's really, honestly, maybe like a better streamline, but there's probably like a lot of more technical things that I guess I'm just kind of doing subconsciously in the third 50. But really the only thing the main thing I'm actively thinking about is just trying to catch water. I'm trying to catch as much water as I can on that third 50.
Yeah.
Is that with your feet that you're focusing in on, or
with my arms? With my arms. My feet, I'm going to be honest, I'm working on that too. My feet, a lot of time I just go autopilot on my kick. I've always been like an arm-centered 200 person. I've had strong legs, but I'm also trying to work on like not going autopilot on my kick, trying to like maintain a better line. But
Matt, what do you do on the weekends? What's the personal side? We talked a lot about aquatic, Matt.
Yeah. Well, usually a pretty hard week, so I usually sleep a lot on Saturday. I don't know. Go to sleep a lot on Sunday too. I do a lot of work over the weekends.
What kind of work?
Homework, projects, group projects.
You're sitting in a gaming chair.
Oh yeah. I game sometimes. I got an Xbox right here. I don't have a lot of time for it during the year though. Sometimes on weekends if I have time I will, but a lot of the times during the year I'm using the TV I have right in front of me right here as like a second monitor or something to do work with. I'm taking my classes a lot more lightly this year, but even then I've got a lot of work.
What are you studying?
Yeah, thank you.
I have a dual degree in finance, computer science, and then minor in math.
Yeah,
That's
what
it?
do you want to do?
Fintech.
Yeah, fintech. Yeah,
Go
I got
make
a full
some money,
plate on
man.
that.
You gotta come to
Thank you.
Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really well. And how much of non-swimming friends? How many non-swimming friends do you have in conversations and stuff? Like, do you have roommates where you are? Are they the swim team or like? What's
No, everyone in this house is on the swim team.
Really?
Yeah, we have a house here. Yeah, everyone I live with is on the swim team. And I know people outside of the swim team, but really my core friend group is just everyone who's on the team. And it's been like that since I've been here.
And what keeps you all grounded? You took some time after you got your worlds. You came back on campus. You're the first Penn swimmer to get a world championship medal. You came back with that, and you have an Olympic year coming up, and you got your studies. What keeps you grounded? Who's that village?
Really, the people I live with.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. I mean, Penn Swim Dive is more of a family than a team. I feel like we're a very close-knit group of people, and everything we do together, it's really just everyone getting routed practice, racing each other, just having fun mainly though, and training. Training is a very big part of our culture. Training hard. So, really, it's just like. Obviously, some of the things I do are different, but it's really just being another member of the team, which keeps me grounded. Just not really doing exactly what everyone else is doing, but just staying on that same schedule, going to practice, putting the work in, and I've got a whole team around. I've got a whole team around me doing it. So,
Matt, I have two questions for you. The first on Penn and kind of your role there, but I mean, we don't need to get into like all the background and everything as to why, but obviously like there's been just Penn in the news a lot in the last couple of years, and I'm sure that can be draining in some ways on the team.
Yeah.
So like, do you feel like the team's kind of moved past and it feels like there's a new chapter at this point? And is there a sense of relief to have kind of had the circus wave kind of be done?
Yeah, we already have in a lot of ways. I feel like, we're just focused on just swimming fast, really, this year. I mean, we kind of moved past that after that all happened. That kind of had its whole thing come with it. But to be honest, on this team, it was really self-contained in that year. And then after that, we just kind of went back to the way things were.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. I'm sure that's a lot, to just stay focused and stay, connected as a team and as a family, as you point out. And then the other thing I was going to ask, just related to Penn and the team that you have there, is like, I mean, just to be straight about it, there's been some standout swimmers from some schools that like don't have a full squad of world championship medalists. And so I'm curious, like, how you see your role on the team and the way that the rest of the team kind of soaks in what they can from you and your success. Like, I'm sure, like, you must be a leader on the team in whatever capacity in the way you show up by your accolades and your accomplishments. So, what impact do you think that has on the team, and how does it impact the way that you show up for your teammates?
Yeah, I try to show up as much as possible. Obviously, I may not be doing the same thing as them all the time. But honestly, I just try I just try and put my best foot forward every practice, even if I'm having, I mean, everyone has them. We all have terrible practices. I'll have my fair share of terrible practices. We all do. But even during those, I just try and put my best foot forward all the time. And it's just mainly just like trying to get everyone going. I mean, there are more routed people on the team than me that like really hype everyone up and getting everyone going. And the team captains do a really great job of leading everyone. But I'd say as a leadership position, I just say it's just like, I guess with everything I've done, I just hope it inspires people. Just kind of like with the way I've even improved since I've even gotten here. I mean, I think I've made great improvements at Penn since I've gotten here, in just swimming in general. And I feel like just carrying, I don't want to say carrying the team with me, but just the entire team carrying each other together. It just really just helps us work harder.
I swam at McGill, and McGill is like an Ivy League level. It's not maybe a middle Ivy League level team, and we've had a handful of Olympians in our history. But when I swam there after Atlanta, Olympic bronze medalist came and trained with us for 2 years, and just swimming with her and swimming next to her and her connections and her wisdom and just being next to her lifted me personally to believe that. Look where I am. I have a pool. I have the same thing she's dealing with, and she is winning medals at Worlds and Olympics. And then it lifted the whole team. That the whole team got going, and became our highest placing in nationals ever. It really lifted. One person made a big difference. One person, the right attitude, who had been there. So I hear what you're saying, and it resonates. How is the Penn team doing for NCs? What's your plan for the Olympic year? How you're focusing on your NC season and your team, and then of course you've got trials at Lucas Oil.
Yeah, we're focusing a lot on long course this year. I already have my cuts. We definitely want to get a few people on the team, some cuts, some Olympic chalk cuts. NCs, we're also trying to send people to NCs. We've got a few people on the cusp, kind of like right around that area. So it's really just like a drive to just push them over the goal line. Because Ivies is our big meet. It's really just to push them over the goal line, to like drop that 1 second in that 200, that 2 seconds in that 200 to get that Olympic chalk cut to make NCAAs. So really, I mean, we're all kind of in the same mindset where it's like you need to lock in, and it's something you really look forward to your entire life. And now you need to train for it. I feel like we all have the same mindset in that sense. It's just training for different things.
Matt, so you're in Athens. Spent some time there. I'm just curious, like, what's your plan for training environment going forward? What's life after Penn look like?
Well, I'm going to be honest. For this could be a problem right before Olympic trials. I don't know yet. So I don't really know where I'm going to be training. I think I will. I actually don't know yet. So, but for now, for the foreseeable future, I'm staying at Penn. My senior year, I'll be staying at Penn. And then after Penn, I don't know yet. I kind of cross those bridges when I get there.
You are making decisions based on a number of things. Based on what you just said, it sounds like, including perhaps what you think needs to be done to have the best you on deck at Paris, hopefully. What have you thought like that? Have you thought about some of the things I just need to do differently, maybe, that I've learned from my experience now at a couple of Worlds that you want to implement now, be it the environment, the pool, the workout, the coaching, or have you still trying to figure that out?
Well, mainly for me, the style I am is if the training's there, I'll be there. If I have like a good aerobic base down, if I'm race ready, I'll be able to race whenever I need to. But I mean, this year, I learned a lot from Worlds. And I might try to model my training a little bit around like, or model my new race strategies around like, okay, I need to spend 20 minutes in the waiting room. How am I going to account for that? Or just like working on getting more race ready before meets, like doing more sprint stuff than right up to the meet. Because I'm not someone who goes to like a lot of pro series or a lot of or a lot of like tune-up meets are for the meet. So I've kind of learned that if I want to swim fast, I need to tune up on my own, which I'm fine with. I've done it my whole life, but being able to just being able to just like get that sort of have that sprint side come out, like not even during taper, but just like having it in mind while you're training that like I'm eventually going to race this event, and it's not like an open water breaststroke swim. It's only a 200 breaths, so I need to be able to like have everything on point, and it's just keeping that in mind.
That's interesting to say that, because you seem like somebody who just race and thrive to race. So you don't have plans to do World Cup circuit. You don't need that stuff. You have that stuff here. You don't need to be exposed to swim against Zach a couple more times. You don't need that stuff. You just need you. Is that right?
Yeah. Obviously, it's not like I don't like racing these people. I love racing these people.
Of course. Yeah.
It's just
me too.
Yeah. I mean, my next long course meet is going to be US Open in December.
Right.
After that, maybe a couple tune-up meets spring 2024, here or there. But other than that, I'm not really planning. I don't know, maybe eventually when I'm older, but all like the World Cup circuit, stuff like that. I'm the type of person who is good with staying home and training and putting in a lot of good work.
My wife was at a World Juniors in Israel, and there was some discussion about, like you said, the ready room and being there 15, 20 minutes ahead of time, and how a lot of these kids have never experienced that, and how maybe in the US they should practice or, prepare kids a little more. Now, obviously it's a very small percentage that are going to get to the level that you're at. But like you said, you're kind of having to adjust, having to learn. I was definitely a warm up right to the pool, right to the, race type of guy as well. Do you think the U.S. could prepare their young athletes better this way? Maybe at juniors? Like, I don't think it has to be every meet, but at juniors and things?
I feel like it wouldn't be a bad idea, just because they'd eventually be like, they'd be forced to train that way right beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, from an early age, they'd have to focus on, all right, what am I going to do in the 20 minutes in the ready room? Like they'd be forced to be thinking about that when they're like 15 rather than when they're at their first Worlds. And so they'd already have it down by the time they get to their first Worlds, and they can even improve on that later on. So I don't know. It's an interesting idea, but I don't know if I'm the top opinion on this.
You see, the US can learn from Trinidad. Matt, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. And in age group swimming, they have this big white tent with 6 rows of chairs. And so the next 6 heats have to be lined up and wait. And you're there for an hour, it feels like, in this chair ready room, because they so want to make sure the meet runs and the kids are there, right? But hey, I'm teasing.
Are they writing on your arms and giving you cards and all that?
No, we remember, people. We remember. No.
I don't know why we got rid of that. That seemed like a pretty cool thing to write on your arm. I mean, people do it permanently now, so why not?
I think, Matt, you do that. At Paris, you do that, okay? Final, F, and 4.
Yeah, and then
honestly, I should. I think that'd be funny.
That'd be funny. F and 4, boom.
Yeah, and then after you fill in your results too, so you get a gold medal, gold Sharpie, and you color that
on the podium. And what is Matt Fallon
and then the people would write on their backs, "Eat my bubbles." Like the summer meets. Yeah, I'll do that too.
All right. Well, if you wrote on your back, what would you write?
Honestly, just to go with the theme, I guess at my summer meets, it used to be all the people would write as kind of a, I don't know, a clip or something, just eat my bubbles and enjoy a bunch of bubbles. Just to I don't know, just as kind of a race thing. So
I thought you were going to write hashtag the last 50.
Well, it's the third 50. My last 50 is kind of my last 50 is the slowest 50
just wait for it. Yeah. It's coming. Something taunting, don't forget about me.
Well, they wouldn't be able to read it because I'd be behind them.
That's true.
Yeah, true. Well, they can read it. They can read it in the ready room on the way out or something.
Rowdy needs that.
Yeah. Oh, this is kind of random, but I was thinking about this the other day about the way we talked to a recent guest about this around the comparison with track, but I'm just curious, like you spent a lot of time at like trials in lane 4 and in center lanes, but if you got to pick your lane in breaststroke, the way that like track runners get to pick which lane they want based on where they finish in the heats. Yeah, so like if you're the top qualifier for the final, you get first selection for which lane you want. So what lane would you pick?
Depends on the pool. If there's because I know I've swum in a lot of pools where there's like a draft in the end lanes.
Yeah.
So if it's like that, I'd have to analyze the pool, but I don't know. Kind of weird. I guess I just like when I was younger, my lucky lane used to be lane 2. I've had a lot of good races in lane 2. But I don't know. I guess I'd say it depends, but if I were to pick, I'm just so used to like the middle few. So I'm like 3, 4, or 5, I guess.
Okay, I have a follow-up question on the draft or the current lane too, because shout out to 2011 Worlds where there was a current in the pool. You kept seeing medals out of lanes. What was it, 6, 7, and 8 guys?
Yep.
For the 50.
Yeah, in the 50, right? And then like noticeably different splits going each direction in distance events. I'm curious, Matt, like if you had to choose between your last 50 swimming into the current versus with the current, which would you choose?
Does everyone have to do the current with me?
Well, no, they're like, I guess if you're in one of those lanes, then assume that maybe there's a circular current or the middle lanes don't have a current.
I don't know.
And is it
I want it to help me on the last 50 because I'm already dying. I can't feel my forearms at the 175. So it'd feel pretty nice to have a current on like that last stretch.
Do you like walls, or do you wish that you could just keep swimming? Like, so do you prefer? But
I love lamp. I love walls.
No, but you just told about the 175, and your arm is hurting you. And do you wish that you had a breather for like 3 seconds to rest your arms here? You know, like, or you're someone who you like the momentum. You like to keep going. You don't like to slow down. You want to keep the rhythm.
I'd be a lot better. Compared to if there were no walls, I feel like that would be really good for me.
200 straight.
But at the same time, I really like walls because I get a rest. So it's kind of half and half. I'd say for performance wise, I'd love to just swim a straight 300 breast against everyone. That'd be like my dream. Just a single pull out and then you're swimming. Like that would be really nice, but it would also really hurt. So in terms of feeling, I'd say walls are pretty fun. Like short course 2 breast doesn't hurt as much as long course 2 breast. And it doesn't feel as hard.
That was a good question, guys. And who told us that they wanted a 300 breaststroke? That was the ideal race? Somebody told us they wanted a 300 breaststroke. Anyway, I can't imagine.
If it were my choice, my ideal race would be like a 1650 short course yard breaststroke.
Matt,
I feel like
Matt, I just
Oh, no.
I want you to know that I respect breaststrokers. I really do. But why does anybody choose that life? There's so many ways to go faster.
This is the life Yeah. I feel like that'd be interesting.
1650 breast?
You wouldn't want to watch a 1650 breast?
No.
I don't know. I feel like it'd just be an interesting thing to see. I'd watch it.
I'd watch Butterfly because they'd be dying like crazy, like Eric the Eel, but I wouldn't watch it breaststroke.
Yeah. Well, they'd be dying in breaststroke too.
They would be, but
man, get your popcorn ready, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, 1650 breaststroke, your last pull out. Where do you pop up?
I'm not doing a pull out. I'm popping up at the close flags.
What would you hold? Would you hold 104s?
In yards?
Yeah.
Am I like shaved and tapered and stuff?
Yeah, you're ready to go.
I don't know. I'm trying to like think of what I would hold for like what I would hold for like 40, 50s if I were like shaved and tapered and stuff like that. I feel like I died pretty hard, but I don't know. I think just based off what I've done before, first 500 would be definitely under 5. I don't know what the rest of them would be.
500 breaststroke under 5, and then go 520, 540. Keep it all under
something
6.
like that.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
I mean,
I can't really say much else with utmost certainty.
Hey, listen, you arrange it. I'll watch it. I'll be there. I promise. Oh, well, I won't be there. Maybe I'll watch virtually. But
I don't need more of these.
You gotta
might need an ambulance outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like we need to arrange like betting on each 50 in the splits, and then we need to arrange some sort of elimination systems that's based on like.
What about a skins mile breast?
Oh yeah, exactly.
What does that mean? Is that a 500 3 times?
Yeah, it's just like a 1650 3 times.
Okay.
1650.
Or if the person who's last to the wall every 100 gets out until you have the last 2 for the last 1500. That makes it exciting.
That would be pretty cool.
Like a salmon run. Yeah. See?
Go ahead. The only thing I was thinking when I was watching ISL is why is there no skins for the 200s? Why is there no skins for 4 IM?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's
that would be pretty fun to watch.
It takes too long.
I don't know.
TV time. It has to be, but I agree. Like, do that and lose the mile. But sorry, we just said. Anyway, it leads us to understand and respect your views on swimming and where you come from. Like, to understand, we never had a guest say that they like to do a 1650 breaststroke, and it helps us understand a lot more of you. So that's powerful stuff. Even though we laughed at you and they laughed at you.
No, I know. Yeah, it's funny. It is funny, but I mean, it's funny but true. You know.
Yeah, it's
awesome. What my favorite part of that whole thing was you asking if the scenario was, are you shaved and tapered? As if you do multiple 1650s breaststroke throughout the season in order to qualify for said tapered 1650.
Maybe it's like the 50 where you qualify with the 100. So you qualify with like a 2 breast. So you wouldn't have to do a bunch of, maybe you'd qualify with a 500 breast. I don't know.
Okay.
It'd be an interesting concept to have like a 500,000 1650 of each stroke.
Interesting concept. Yes, I agree with you. Also, what do you think about the whole you swim the 100 to qualify for the 50 thing? This one's near and dear to my heart.
Oh, Brian, flip it. What if you swam the 100 to qualify for the 200? What if you didn't select the 200 because it took too long, and they took the best 100 swimmers? They flipped it. How would you feel about that?
Great one, Matt. Let's imagine a world where there's only a 50 and 100 free breaststroke at the Olympics. But there is a 200 breast at Worlds.
Yes.
How would you feel if you got a right to swim the 200 breast by earning a spot in the 100 breast at trials?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people do very good at the 100. I mean, Nick's good at the 200. Josh is good at the 200. They both qualified in the 100. But I feel like there's a lot of people who are good at the 100 who would just go out and die. 200.
Take the bait. Come on.
Yeah.
The backstory.
Would you be on the team? Would you change your training to be better at the 100 so that you got on the team?
I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen.
And you see, and if that was the case, we wouldn't see Matt Fallon. We wouldn't have seen that 277, and we missed out on the opportunity for a great swimmer to get a medal at Worlds. Right, Brian?
Shout out Justin Ress. Well, he qualified in the 100 free. But anybody who's had success in the 50s and got Michael Andrew, of course, is the example this year. But yeah.
Michael Andrew, Brett.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring it up, Matt, is because my best event was the 50 fly, and I had the fastest American time that year by a full second, including at Worlds, but I didn't get to go because there weren't trials for those events at that time. So, but anyway, still in disagreement with the way that the team selects people to race and win the same medals that you get in the other races.
I feel like, in my opinion, eventually it'll come through, but I feel like it's just not that. I feel like, eventually they'll change to you can qualify with the 50s because I feel like they're becoming more like they're becoming better with that. But I'm just waiting for the time where you can qualify in the 400 breaststroke.
One
I like
interesting thing, we were talking about Cam McAvoy, and he was saying if they included 25s, like freestyle, the 50 freestyle would get faster. Yeah. If you think there were like 300 breaststrokes, do you think the 200 would get faster because people would get so much better at that back half?
Yeah, totally. If there was a 400 breaststroke, 300 to 400 breaststroke, everybody would get so much better than 200. I feel like that's the case, just because the thing is, I feel like there's a place for people to come home, like even like a little faster than 200. I'm not saying this because I come home fast, but I feel like whenever I feel like people are talking about the 200, I feel like they're working on their back half. Like I've never heard someone say they went out 1:15 and they're like, oh, I went out too slow.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a lot easier to stay out and stay there, to like get out ahead of the field and stay there rather than to come back. But I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
Agree.
All right. We just got a few rapid fire questions, and then we'll let you go.
Okay. All right.
What's the hardest race in swimming?
1650 breast.
No,
he wants to do it. Take me 10 hours.
Either 200 free or 200 back.
Olympic gold or world record?
Olympic gold.
Do you pee in the pool?
No comment.
USA Swimming just launched their TV network. Are you watching it?
Isn't it on Apple TV?
I don't know.
I don't have Apple TV at my house. I don't know. Maybe.
Every national team should get it. Every national team should get Apple TV now. That's what I say. But,
yeah. No, they should be given subscription to Apple TV, funded by USA Swimming.
No, you need like the unit for Apple TV. I think. The little thing. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, you need to let us know if you get gifted that next year with a national team membership.
Hey, if someone out there hears this, I'd appreciate it. If you give me an Apple TV, I'll watch it.
Dude, sign that NIL deal, bro.
With Apple. Of course.
What's the best swim you ever saw in person?
Well, the best swim I ever saw in person. I think either Leon swims at NCAAs. Oh, no. Fun fact, the 4x100 of Beijing. I was there.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old were you?
5. I don't remember it, but I saw it.
But you were in the building.
I was in the stands.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, that wins. Drop down.
Yeah. My family went to go watch the Olympics there. And we were there for that session.
Dude, that's
epic. I don't remember. The only thing I remember about the going there is in the water cube. I remember because I was 5. They have this huge water slide going across the whole thing.
Right.
It's the biggest water slide I've ever seen.
Wow.
But no, I don't remember that race. But wow. I remember apparently everybody like stood up when they finished. Apparently, like my mom had to like stand me up.
That's awesome. You gotta send a picture.
When you're 5, you care a lot more about water slides than you do about some.
Yeah, I don't think I realized what was happening.
That's so crazy.
I guess that back half kind of implicitly kind of like pushed itself onto me.
Yeah. That's crazy. Do you think that you'll see a sub 2 minute 200 breaststroke long course in your lifetime?
Yes.
When?
I don't know. Maybe like the late 2030s or 2040s.
That's soon.
Yeah, that's okay. So within 20 or 30 years, I get it. I like it. Will the Phillies win the NL wild card slot? Because let's be honest, go Braves. They're not can't win the division.
Don't know.
All right. And with all this breaststroke, how much social kick are you doing?
More than I used to.
Hell yeah.
Corporate. Yeah. Any breaststroke kick with the kickboard is good for you. Social kick is good for you.
And you see, the rumor was you couldn't do breaststroke social kick because you couldn't have 3 or 4 of you in the same lane. But I disagree. You can.
You can. You just got to be in a square.
So,
Preach. Hey, Lily King told us about the narrow kick, so I like it. Matt, thanks for hanging out. Super fun to chat with you, and you're fun to watch. We're excited to see you keep making some progress and leading the Penn team to some NCAA success. Ivy's first, of course. That's the big focus. But then on to the summertime and the big pool, the 50-yard plus 5.5 inches pool. Cool. Awesome, man. Thanks for hanging out.
No problem. My pleasure being here. This is fun.
All right. That's it for this episode of Social Kick. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you're enjoying Social Kick, tell your friends about it. And be sure to tell us what you liked by leaving a comment and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Social Kick. And you can find all of our content on our website,